Well, hello, everybody. This is Universal Truth of Mankind. I am Dave, your host, and this is Future Forecast. It's been a little while since I posted a video because I've been very busy in other things this past week that had to, you know, divert my attention from doing all these videos. Thankfully, I had some, you know, stored up, but in terms of Future Forecast, I did not have anything stored up. So let's talk about recently. I put up a video about Ukraine and I received a response. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy I got the response. Where I said, well, do you believe in fairy tales? Which perplexed me because if you go back in history, you find a lot of what I talked about is actual fact, not fiction. So I wasn't sure about that. But you know something, I wanted to make sure that I didn't view anyone negatively because sometimes when we write things, we think of something and we write something and we don't realize that it's not necessarily has its context enveloped into it. So I said, okay, let me turn this to a good thing. So I welcome um, people's inputs. So I want to explain something to you all. When I write, or when I do these videos, I'm talking about future forecast in particular, I'm basing my opinion on what I have that I'm aware of, my historical knowledge, um, people I've spoken to, and I had a wonderful time when I was younger because I got to speak to World War I vets, I got to speak to World War II vets, Korean, and now Vietnam, and so on and so forth. And plus my generation went to Operation Iraqi Freedom and so on and so forth. So I have a lot of people I know, and the things they told me that were never reported in the news is quite fascinating. Um, it's a lot of stuff out there we're not aware of. So I'm basing my opinions on what I know of. Sometimes I can't reveal what I know, and I get that. But remember, no matter what, these are my opinions. So you view everyone's input as an opinion for your own sake and say to yourself, well, what that person proposes is a what if. Turn everything into a what if. For example, there are some that are saying that Trump was not, there was no assassination of Trump, but rather it was a um, uh, staged event. Well, a person got killed, staged, makes you wonder. But the reality is, I should say, what if? How am I going to know? I had to explore other people's thoughts and opinions, whether I agree with them or not, because you never know. If we collect enough information, we come closer and closer to truth. And that's what a what if is. A what if's purpose is to help us try to connect more dots and come to a more true conclusion. So view all that I say in that way. View everybody's thoughts that way. Don't write them off because there may be a piece of a puzzle in that information that you're just going to cast out and then, you're going to lose. So think that way about anything I say or anything anyone says. We simply can't trust the news. It's just a fact. We can't trust our politicians. That's a fact. But that doesn't mean that they don't necessarily leak information out in their conversations, in their speeches. Like, for example, they'll say, well, this person is going to destroy our democracy. Well, who's that person talking to? Is he or she speaking to us or their compadres? More than likely to their compadres, not to us. So their form of democracy is in jeopardy, not necessarily democracy for us. You see what I'm saying? We have to be careful how we perceive. And play these what if things. Well, what if they're not really talking to us, the people, but to each other? This is how they communicate to each other. It's like during World War II, the British used to send broadcasts over to England, especially before D-Day, in which they were instructing the undergrounds, particularly in France, of what to anticipate and what to do. So they were sending codes through normal broadcasting. So why can't our government not be doing the same? Our corrupt politicians be doing the same? Of course they are. So keep this in mind. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Shalom, shalom.